So my topic is OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a history of it, but mainly I'm going to focus on the difference between the Hollywood fictionalization of obsessive compulsive disorder and what it really is like. Because a lot of people, years ago, nobody knew what obsessive compulsive disorder was. And now it's part of the American vernacular. People, you hear that all the time. Oh, I have OCD, I wash my hands all the time. Or I have OCD, I need to keep my books in line. But it's really, it's a lot more than what you see in movies. It's a lot worse most of the time. So I'm going to give you also a first-hand account of what goes on inside the head of somebody who has obsessive compulsive disorder. It was really, the term obsessive compulsive disorder was created in 1963, and that was the first time it was put in the medical books as a disease that you can actually get. But it took up until around the mid-'80s before people were actually diagnosed and before it really became part of the mainstream culture of obsessive compulsive disorder. People, most of the time, were just annoyed by people with obsessive compulsive disorder, and kids would get bullied, and a lot of times that would lead to other more severe psychological disorders. But in Hollywood, a lot of movies, there's a lot of different movies. Matchstick Men with Nicolas Cage is a movie about a con man with obsessive compulsive disorder. The Aviator is based on a true story about Howard Hughes, who had obsessive compulsive disorder. And I have a clip from a movie called As Good as It Gets with Jack Nicholson. And I'm just going to show you basically what Hollywood thinks of obsessive compulsive disorder. This is like the intro to the movie. And a lot of it is real. I mean, this is what is called compulsions. Obsessive compulsive disorder is split up into two parts, obsessions and compulsions. This is compulsions. This is when you do what they call rituals. People, this is one of the most common ones, people say, I wash my hands all the time, I have OCD. Obsessions, obsessions is something that goes on in the head of somebody with OCD, that you think something horrible is going to happen if you don't do the compulsions, washing your hands or something like that. People think that if you don't close the door 3 times, that a burglar is going to come in the middle of the night. People think that if you don't wash your hands, one germ will grow into so many germs that it'll kill you. And what is so different about obsessive compulsive disorder than any other psychological disease is that the sufferer knows that the thoughts are irrational. People always say crazy people don't know they're crazy, and for the most part that's true. They say things that are gibberish and they think they're making sense. But people with obsessive compulsive disorder know that what they're doing is strange, it's weird, and it's irrational. And that's what gives them the most trouble in their lives, because they know that it's not normal. Most of the time, Jack Nicholson throughout this, it's almost like he doesn't really care. It's another day. But what is different in real life is that people, when they're doing their compulsions, is that they hate it. They hate doing it. They hate what they're doing, and a lot of times they hate themselves. And that's why Hollywood, it almost seems cute when you have OCD. People think it's kind of cool, it's funny, but it's a lot worse than that. There's a little bit of evidence that obsessive compulsive disorder is genetic. Some people see that if your parents have it, you tend to have it, but it's not concrete. There's very little concrete evidence. But what there is concrete evidence is that there are varying degrees of obsessive compulsive disorder. Some people have it worse than others. And the other thing is that some people can hide it. I have obsessive compulsive disorder. And throughout my day, I can do the compulsions and hide it from people because I know it's weird and I know it's irrational. One of the things that to me happens is if somebody touches me on my shoulder, I have to touch the other side. Basically, everything has to be symmetrical. So if somebody bumps into my leg, I gotta do it to the other side. And a lot of times somebody will tap me, and I won't do it right away because I don't want them to notice. I don't want them to see me. So I'll talk for a little while. When they're not looking, I'll even it out. Now for me, I don't take any medication. I don't go to therapy because it's a very mild case of obsessive compulsive disorder. But people who have it worse don't have the ability to hold it basically, and someone will tap them on the shoulder and they have to do it on the other side. And something like that doesn't seem so, it doesn't seem so annoying, I guess. It's not so devastating. But when somebody is working a crane and they're operating a crane and they need to do one of these compulsions, it can kill somebody. So one of the things they try to do is they give you something called SSRIs, which basically it's like Zoloft or it's an antidepressant, and it calms their nerves, but it doesn't cure anything. It doesn't really fix the problem. Really, the point of this information is that I just want people to realize that obsessive compulsive disorder isn't really, it's a lot worse than it seems. And for me, I can live with it. I have such a mild case that most people won't even notice. But just be sensitive when you're saying things like, no, I have OCD, I have to wash my hands all the time. Because people who really do have OCD, people who have, debilitating cases of it, they can't live normal lives because of this. They wash their hands